الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد أما بعد. I welcome all of you to our class today. So this is going to be our second day of the week 3 inshallah. For those of you who have not done yesterday's or done studying the videos from yesterday, please make sure to do so inshallah. But if you have, I hope you found them beneficial, and today's lesson will be inshallah be a follow up from that, so it'll be a bit more easier for you to follow along, because you've had that kind of just that breaking breaking of ice inshallah. طيب. So yesterday we did a small passage, right? Very, very brief. طيب. Today's inshallah is also going to be brief, but it has some new words inshallah. So let's jump into it. Today's topic is going to be so the first session for today is going to be learning how to fill an application form for the library card. Let's say you move to an Arab country, and you want to join the library. Of course, for you to be able to fully utilize the library space, you need to have a library card, right? Because then you can borrow books, you can do a lot of interesting things. You can sign up to classes that are offered by the library and whatnot. So having a library card is essential. طبعا, we've said many times that just-in-time learning is the best form of learning for any subject, and in fact the language as well. We're not going to any Arab country just to, at this second, or we don't need to fill in any application form right now. However, this initial set of readings that we're doing is just to give you a little foundation, just a little exposure to the basic usage of Arabic, right? We're just prepping up to get to the 1,000 words practices inshallah, right? So before we get to the 1,000 words, and we drill the 1,000 words and its usages and everything else around that, we need to build up a bit of a familiarity with Arabic, right? This is why we're doing some of these set readings inshallah. طيب. Right. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. تعبئة نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. تعبئة, filling of, نموذج, a form, بطاقة, card, مكتبة, library. نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. Right. Let's start from the left. بطاقة مكتبة, card of the library. So library card. بطاقة مكتبة, library card. So more technically, card of library. Right. Card of library. So بطاقة مكتبة, library card. نموذج بطاقة مكتبة would be the form of library card, right? So the application form of library card. نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. Okay. So تعبئة نموذج is a filling of the application form. Which one? Which application form? نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. The application form of or for the library card. بطاقة مكتبة. Okay, inshallah. So get used to the phrase بطاقة مكتبة, بطاقة مكتبة, بطاقة مكتبة, بطاقة مكتبة. The best way to get used to words quickly is just to quickly read them a few times in your head, and read them out loud, just so that it gets on your tongue. So بطاقة مكتبة, بطاقة مكتبة, بطاقة مكتبة, بطاقة مكتبة. Right. I hope you guys are repeating after me inshallah. طيب. Then put it together with the previous one. نموذج بطاقة مكتبة, and keep the meaning in your mind. نموذج, application form, بطاقة مكتبة, library card. نموذج, application form of بطاقة مكتبة, library card. نموذج بطاقة مكتبة, نموذج بطاقة مكتبة, نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. طيب. From the beginning, تعبئة نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. Right, so filling of the application form for the library card. طيب. Inshallah, let's quickly have a look at some of the new words you're going to come across. This list is not exhaustive, and when we look at the passage, I'll point out some other words. But just to get going, vocabulary, mufradat. Mufradat means individual words, right? And then the next column here is about عبارات. صحيح? عبارات, expressions or phrases. This is what we are interested in. We're not going to learn, we're not going to memorize these individual list of words. This is just to get things going, just to start the things. And then we'll just be phrase mining, focusing on the phrases, the things that we can sort of just use, just sort of collect in our phrase book. And then hopefully, inshallah, over time, with enough review and context, we can, and when the need arises, we can use them. Right, so, ta'biyatu, to fill. Right, ta'biya, to fill. Form, namudaj, we just covered that quickly. Right, talab is the request or application. Talab. So when you say talib al-ilm, the seeker of knowledge, someone who seeks knowledge, right? Who wants knowledge. So he's a talib of it, he's a seeker. Right, so likewise, talab is a request. You seek something. طيب. Ishtirak is to join, to become a part of something. So in the context of a library, it will mean subscription or joining, taking part in, on a continual basis, right? Continuous basis. طيب, inshallah. So bitaqa is a card. We just did that. Bitaqa maktaba, right? Bitaqa, card. Maktaba, library. Wazifa is a job, or mihna is a profession. Amal, again, is a job as well. So wazifa is a word used for job. Ithbat, proof. Ithbat technically means to affirm something. In the context of this text, when it says ithbatu hada, give us the ithbat of what you say, what you claim, then in that context, ithbat would become proof. Anyway, it'll become more clear as we read, inshallah. طيب. Tawqir, signature. Tawqir is signature. Right, and then waraqa is a paper or a document, and murfaq is attached. You know how you say rafiq is someone who's a friend of yours or who's a close friend of yours. He's attached to you, or they're attached to you. So when something is murfaq, it is attached, right? So it'll become more clear as we read the passage. طيب, inshallah. Personal information, معلومات شخصية. معلومات, information, شخصية, personal. معلومات شخصية. You can see the order here of how the noun, right? You know how in English you have adjective, the description before the noun. So you said red apple, the red apple. In Arabic, it's the opposite. Okay, so you say the noun and then the adjective. Okay, the noun, the thing you're talking about, comes first, and then all of its descriptions, everything else will come after it. طيب, so معلومات شخصية. معلومات, information. What kind of معلومات? شخصية, personal. طيب, inshallah. Right, تاريخ الميلاد. تاريخ, date, and ميلاد, birth. So تاريخ الميلاد, date of birth. تاريخ الميلاد. عنوان السكن. عنوان is address, second is residence. عنوان السكن, the address of residence. رقم الهاتف. رقم الهاتف, we did this in our daily phrases. ما هو رقم هاتفك? ما رقم هاتفك وما هو رقم هاتفك? What is your phone number, right? So رقم الهاتف. هاتف is the phone, رقم is number. البريد الإلكتروني. البريد is mail, إلكتروني electronic. Okay, إلكتروني electronic. البريد is mail, and it can be used for normal mail, okay, or for email. طيب, inshallah. But when you say email, it's always البريد الإلكتروني. So you make sure you say the E basically by the word إلكتروني. البريد الإلكتروني. طيب, photograph. Photograph is a surah, right? It's a surah. It's a picture, but it's a kind of a picture which is personal, right? So it's a personal picture. So photograph is a personal picture. So you say suratun shakhsiyya. Okay, although we can disagree on a technical basis, because photograph could mean photograph of a family, for example, or other people. But when it says surah shakhsiyya, it is more clear. Surah shakhsiyya is a personal photograph of a person. So it's a personal ID photograph kind of thing. طيب. So that's your basic ibarat. There's some others which will come up as we read the passage. طيب, inshallah. So far, are the basic meanings of these phrases clear for everyone, inshallah? طيب. Is it واضح? تمام. Right. الهدف. الهدف. What did we say الهدف meant in yesterday's class? الهدف. We covered the word الهدف yesterday. What did الهدف mean? Everyone? الهدف is the aim of the class, the aim of this passage, okay? The aim, هدف. أهداف, aims, plural, okay? For the plural. هدف is one, target, the aim, the objective. طيب إن شاء الله الهدف is the objective, the aim of this class, of this passage. طيب, it says, let me zoom in a bit. في هذا الدرس, in this الدرس, this class, in this lesson, will تتعلم, you'll learn, so you will learn. means the will, the future tense, and تتعلم, you learn, so you will learn. في هذا الدرس, in this lesson, ستتعلم, you will learn. Ta is for you, okay? The ta is for you. The sin is for the future will. And تعلم, of course, is the act of learning. ستتعلم, you will learn. المعلومات. معلومات, information. التي, which معلومات? The ones تحتاج إليها, you need it, right? The ones you need, the information that you need. التي تحتاج إليها, right? The information that you need. تحتاج إليها. We've done this word تحتاج. أحتاج إلى الماء مثلا. أحتاج إلى مساعدة, right? It's the same word. It's the only thing is you've changed the beginning of it to denote you instead of I. طيب, so instead of أحتاج, you say تحتاج إليها. تحتاج إليها. تحتاج إلى becomes إليها. The ha represents the معلومات, the information. Okay, inshallah. معلومات التي تحتاج إليها. You will learn the information that you need. Where do you need this information? Exactly. في, in, تعبئة, filling of, نموذج, the form of, اشتراك, joining. Which kind of joining? Which place are you joining? في مكتبة, in the library. So this is the technical translation, the literal translation. Put together, it would mean that you will learn in this dars, you will learn the information that you need for filling of the joining form, filling of the joining application form in the library. Okay, the joining form of the application form. Okay, so the namuzaj would be the application form, and ishtirak is to join, become part of, to become a sharik, become a part of, في مكتبة, in the library. Okay, inshallah. So نموذج اشتراك في مكتبة. It's the application form of joining or becoming part of the library. طيب inshallah. وتتدرب على استعمالها. You will have practice upon its usage, how to use this information, how to interact with it. اقرأ النص, read the passage, read the text. ثم, and then, أجب, answer عن الأسئلة. Answer the questions. So these answering the question, inshallah, you'll do it in your own time after the classes during the week, inshallah. We'll just be focusing on the nas itself and as much practice we can get out of it in terms of our phrase mining. طيب. النص. ما معنى النص? Everyone, ما معنى النص? What does النص mean? ما معنى النص? Quickly, please. نعم, passage, right? Passage, the text that we're about to read. طيب, so this is your application form essentially with some details filled in. الاسم الأول. Okay, الاسم الأول, the first name, your first name. الاسم, name. الأول, the first. طيب الاسم الأول. ما هو الاسم الأول? Of course you'd say Hashim مثلا over here, or whatever your name is. But the person has filled his entire name, right? This could have just been al-ism, right? That could have been just as fine. An application form might just mention al-ism, right? And you can mention your entire name. طيب. Hashim Muhammad Fuad, that's his full name. طيب inshallah. تاريخ الميلاد, what does that mean? تاريخ الميلاد, we just did it. تاريخ الميلاد. Date of birth. I want everyone to answer, please, inshallah. طيب. I want everyone to interact. تاريخ الميلاد, تاريخ, date. الميلاد, birth. So date of birth. تاريخ الميلاد. What is the date of birth here? This is his date of birth, so he's written that. Brother Hashim has written his date of birth over here. طيب. العنوان. العنوان. العنوان means address. Okay? عنوان means address. MashaAllah. طيب inshallah, try your best to remember as much as you can inshallah, and try and answer as much as you can. And the things that you don't know, you'll have the answers, okay? طيب, so al-unwan is address. طيب inshallah, al-unwan is the address. And you can have an address for the email as well. So you can say عنوان البريد الإلكتروني, right? The address of email. So the address of email. Make me sense inshallah? So email address. العنوان عنوان البريد الإلكتروني. Anyway, in this case, al-unwan, just address would mean the physical address, the address of the residence, right? So this is 13, so the house number or the flat number, whatever the building is. So 13, شارع طريق سلوى. The طريق سلوى, street. شارع means street. Okay, شارع means street. واضح إن شاء الله, everyone? شارع means street. طريق سلوى is the name of the street. طريق سلوى. عين خالد is the name of the neighborhood. And Doha is the city. Doha is the city, and we know what Doha is. It's in Qatar. Okay, so that's his address. طيب inshallah. رقم الهاتف, what does that mean? رقم الهاتف. Done this multiple times now inshallah. What's the رقم الهاتف? Everyone? Does everyone agree with this answer? Yeah, it's correct, mashallah. Well done. Phone number. رقم الهاتف. Phone number. Right, moving on. البريد الإلكتروني. What does that mean? ما معنى البريد الإلكتروني? جميل ما شاء الله. ما شاء الله. البريد الإلكتروني. اللهم بارك. طيب. Right, التوقيع is signature. Right, of course they can't produce a signature here, so they just put the name in front of it. But التوقيع would mean you would place your signature in this spot. طيب inshallah, التوقيع, signature. التاريخ, what does that mean? التاريخ, you can probably guess from here. التاريخ, yes, so it would be date of birth if it said تاريخ الميلاد. You see, date of birth is 3 words, right? Date and then birth. So date of birth is 2 words. Over here, it's just تاريخ. Correct? So if you said تاريخ date of birth, that would mean تاريخ الميلاد. You'll have to find the word for birth in there, right? But there's no word for birth over here. It's just one word, which is تاريخ, date. صحيح? Correct, inshallah? نعم. طيب. So that's your basic application form. Then, of course, they want to make sure that, you're not pretending, you're not someone who's, up to something. So they want to have some proof. So what they do is al-awraq al-murfaqa. They request from you some documents, additional documents, right? So al-awraq al-murfaqa are attached. The attached documents. Al-awraq. So warq is one page or one document, and awraq are documents. Okay? Al-awraq is the plural of warqun. طيب, warq is one document, and al-awraq, plural of warq. So documents. attached documents. الأوراق المرفقة. الأوراق المرفقة. مرفقة from, just imagine a رفيق. رفيق is a friend, right? So مرفقة, attached. الأوراق المرفقة. الأوراق المرفقة. What are the documents they need? صورة شخصية. What does that mean? صورة شخصية. طيب, is it the photograph of his family? Didn't you see the photograph of his children and his mother and his father? Everyone? What does صورة شخصية mean specifically? Everyone? Does everyone agree with this answer? So it's not a family photograph they need. Yes, mashallah. Right, it's an official photograph, right? It's a personal photograph of a person used for any professional or bureaucratic reasons, like a passport or an ID or a driving license or anything of that nature, right? So it's just a passport size or a small sized personal photograph. طيب inshallah, so it's a official personal photograph. صورة شخصية. تمام? Right, moving on. صورة عن الهوية أو جواز السفر. Of course, you've not done these words before, so let's crack them. Okay, صورة. What does that mean again? صورة. Quickly. جميل. So it's a photograph. طيب, they need another photograph. But can you imagine what kind of photograph they need other than your photograph? So perhaps this is something to do with that. Maybe we can understand from the context. Go on. Can you imagine any other kind of pictures that you submit, or any other kind of photographs you submit in an official application form? Come on, take a guess, inshallah. Come on, everyone. Okay. If you've ever gone for something, exactly, well done, mashallah. You see, sometimes you have that moment where, mashallah, Allahumma barik, Sister Connie has to beat everyone, mashallah, right? It's a passport, right? Sometimes, when you go for official documentation, you need to submit some form of ID, right? So, Jawaz is safar. Safar is, of course, travel. Jawaz is the thing that allows you to suffer, right? The allowance of travel, and that is, of course, the passport. Okay, it's a passport. It's a pass for traveling across the port, right? So Jawaz is safar. طيب. So it's a picture of that. أو, what does أو mean? We talked about this yesterday. All right, so it's giving you an option. So you have an option. Surah an, surah of, or about, basically. Surah an, surah about that describes the two documentation where they've given you an option. So one of them we said was passport, Jawaz al-Safar. And the other one, as Sister Connie mentioned, it is a form of a license, but more specifically, a huwiyya is an ID. Okay? Your national ID or something, any ID, any official ID. And that could include a license. Okay, inshallah? طيب, so this is an ID, an official ID. And then if you have an option, you can either submit an huwiyya or Jawaz al-Safar. واضح inshallah? Once that's clear, it says إثبات عنوان السكن. What does that mean? إثبات عنوان السكن. You guys might be thinking, subhanAllah, the Ustad is testing us on things which he hasn't even taught us yet. But scientifically speaking, if you guys actually did your reading in the reading break, scientifically speaking, like it's much more beneficial for your learning when you start testing yourself even before starting the learning phase, right? This will help you, inshallah, form better memories. Now, proof of address. That's correct. Ithbat is proof. Unwan, what did we say unwan was? What does unwan mean? The word unwan has come before this, right? What does unwan mean? بسرعة يا إخوة. أي صحيح. Address, ما شاء الله. طيب. And more specifically, عنوان السكن. What does that mean? You can have عنوان address of your office, of any other place, right? But what does عنوان السكن mean? It's a specific type of address. عنوان السكن. What does that mean, do you guys think? Yes, address of residence or where you live. MashaAllah. Well done. طيب, inshallah. So now they require three things from you. They need a personal photograph, صورة شخصية. They need صورة عن الهوية أو جواز السفر, either a passport or an ID. And they need proof of your current residence, right? So they want to check your address. طيب. So إثبات عنوان السكن. This is where, for example, in the UK, they ask you to provide a letter from the bank which says your address on it, for example, right? Similar things, right? So إثبات عنوان السكن. تمام, inshallah. Last line for this passage. ستصدر البطاقة. What does البطاقة mean? Quickly, everyone. What does البطاقة mean? البطاقة. بسرعة يا إخوة. Everyone? Does everyone agree with the answer? Al-bitaqa means, let us go back to the top. تعبئة نموذج بطاقة مكتبة. بطاقة مكتبة. Something of the library. What did we say it meant over there? Everyone? What did we say it meant over there? بطاقة. Yes, right? It's a card. So the whole application, this whole passage is about the library card, right? So bitaqa is a key word. Make sure you, inshallah, review this, inshallah. طيب. So bitaqa maktaba, and so bitaqa can be used for many different case scenarios. You can have a card, you can have an ATM card, a Visa card, right? Or you can have an ID card, right? Bitaqa huwiya, مثلا, right? You can have bitaqa of anything else, such as bitaqa ta'aruf. You can have an introduction card, for example. You can have many different types of cards, right? So bitaqa is a very useful word. It appears everywhere. طيب, inshallah. So bitaqa, right? Again, so ستصدر البطاقة. We don't know the word ستصدر, right? So we'll come back to it in a second. Let's figure out the rest of the meanings. Al-bitaqa means what? Again, everyone? Card. Brilliant. Right. Something will happen to the card بعد 10 something أيام. What does that mean? بعد 10 أيام. Yeah, so something is going to happen to the card in 10 days, right? So it's going to arrive in 10 days. Okay, we haven't got to that part yet. So inshallah, don't get ahead of yourselves. We're trying to figure out the meaning of this word from the context. طيب, inshallah. Right, so the card something is gonna happen to it after 10 days. Starting from when? Min تاريخ الطلب. What does that mean, do you guys think? So we know what min is from. You guys know what تاريخ is now, right? And طلب, we did this word طلب. You say طلب العلم مثلا. So you know the word طلب in a sense. So try and figure this out. What does this mean? من تاريخ الطلب. من تاريخ الطلب. من تاريخ الطلب. From تاريخ of الطلب. Come on everyone, you can do this. Bismillah. After 10 days, من تاريخ الطلب. What does that mean? From, so what does tarikh mean? Just look at the individual words. They'll help you figure out the meanings. What does tarikh mean? Come on. Tarikh is come on everyone. Tarikh is, what does tarikh mean? We just did it. Tarikh, look at this. At-tarikh, right? Tarikh al-milad. Look at this. Tarikh al-milad. At-tarikh. Yes, date, right? Now this word has come what, 3 times? And now this is the 3rd time, right? Tarikh al-talab. So from the date of something, what is the which date could it be? So 10 days after the date of something. Someone is up to something. MashaAllah, well done. Yes, talab is application, right? Application. Good. So the card, something is going to happen to it after 10 days from the date of application. Can everyone piece together the meaning now, inshallah? البطاقة بعد 10 أيام من تاريخ الطلب. Okay, now take your best guess at the word ستصدر. Come on everyone. Something is going to happen to the card after 10 days from your application date. Normally, we can guess that it's definitely not going to be destroyed. It's not going to be lost. It's definitely going to it's something that is positive, right? The purpose of this application was to get this card, right? So hopefully what they're telling you is that after 10 days it will be issued to you, right? Or activated. But over here, of course, all of that is correct. In terms of your guesses are correct, mashallah, activated, provided. But the word tasduru is from sadr, right? Sadara is to come forth, right? Just like the word sadr is for chest, right? The word for chest in Arabic is sadr. How the chest is the protruding part of the person. It's the first part of the person, it's the front part of you. And it's the thing that sort of bolts forward when you walk, right? Likewise, when something is, when you use the word sadr for it, or, it's a tasduru, sadara is to come forth, right? So issue. طيب inshallah. So the card, the bitaqa, satasdur, it will be sent forth, it will be issued بعد 10 أيام, 10 days, من تاريخ الطلب, from the application date, or from the date of application. Okay, inshallah. Let's read a couple times. ستصدر البطاقة. Keep the meaning in mind. ستصدر البطاقة. The card will be issued. Will be issued. ستصدر. Tasduru, the ta describes, the ta over here is for the bitaqa, right? Bitaqa is a word which is feminine because of the ta at the end. طيب? So using a ta over here to describe it, right? ستصدر البطاقة. The card will be issued. ستصدر البطاقة. When will it be issued? بعد 10 أيام. بعد 10 أيام. Repeat after me please, inshallah. بعد 10 أيام. After 10 days. From when? من تاريخ الطلب. من تاريخ الطلب. Okay, we're gonna read this quickly one more time, okay, inshallah, and then I'm gonna ask you to repeat the exercise from yesterday, where I'm gonna ask you to close your eyes, and then we'll read it to test your listening understanding of it. طيب. الاسم الأول, the first name or the name, هاشم محمد فؤاد. طيب. تاريخ الميلاد, date of birth, this is date of birth. العنوان, address, 13, this is the building number or the house number. شارع طريق سلوى, street طريق سلوى, so طريق سلوى street. عين خالد, the name of the neighborhood, عين خالد. The city, الدوحة. رقم الهاتف, phone number. البريد الإلكتروني, email address or email. التوقيع, sign or signature. التاريخ, we know that. طيب. الأوراق المرفقة, الأوراق, plural of. ورق means document. أوراق would mean documents. المرفقة, attached, combined, attached, put together. صورة شخصية, personal photograph. صورة عن, the picture of or about. الهوية, ID. أو جواز سفر, or the passport. Okay, هوية, ID, جواز سفر, passport. And thirdly, إثبات عنوان السكن, the proof of. عنوان, the address, which address? عنوان السكن, the residential address. Okay, once you've given the details and you provide the documents, what would happen? ستصدر البطاقة, the card will be issued. البطاقة, ستصدر البطاقة. When? بعد 10 أيام. 10 is 10. أيام, days. بعد 10 أيام, after 10 days. من تاريخ الطلب, from the date of application. طيب inshallah. Is everyone clear on most of the meanings here inshallah now? هل هذا واضح؟ نعم. Everyone, quickly. I don't expect you guys to have memorized all of this all of this already. Of course, as we said, the process has to take place, the process of extracting the phrases, putting them inside your phrase books, and then repetition, reviewing every single day. That process has to take place. It hasn't happened yet. Now, but are the meanings clear so far of everything that we've done? Are the meanings clear so far, inshallah? Leave aside the fact that maybe you're forgetting some words here and there, but do you understand them at least? Naam? Everyone? Alhamdulillah. Yes, by the way, when you guys write na'am in Arabic, it's noon, ayn, and mim, right? 3 letters, noon, ayn, and mim. If you say noon and mim, that means go to sleep, right? So it's like you're asking me or commanding me, Ustad, go to sleep. Stop teaching us, right? So don't say don't say noon and mim, say noon, ayn, mim. Because if I go to sleep, the lessons, it's not going to happen. Right, Bismillah. Before I read the passage, some grammatical pointers here. It says في أغلب الدول العربية, in most of the Arabic countries, يكتب الاسم الأول أولا. The first name is written first, ثم اسم العائلة, then the name of the family. ويمكن تمييز اسم العائلة أحيانا, and sometimes it is possible for us to distinguish the name of the family when احتوى على التعريف, right? When it is when it has alif lam of ta'rif in the beginning, right? When it's made up of alif lam, okay? مثل الحمد القاسم, you say Muhammad al-Hamad, right? You say Ahmed al-Qasim. طيب, so these are family names. Al-Hamad, al-Qasim, al-Sa'ih, al-Fawzan مثلا, right? Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, right? Al-Sheikh, right? So you have these family names. طيب. So you can sort of say, you identify someone with a family name. So you have the first name and then you have the family name afterwards. Right? And sometimes you can identify them with the ya nisbah, the ya that describes their locality. For example, Brittani, someone from Britain. Pakistani, someone from Pakistan. Saudi, someone from Saudi. طيب inshallah. So these are two common ways of describing family names. Okay, family names. Either put alif lam on the family name, right? And normally this name comes from one of the grandfathers. Okay, and then ya nisba would essentially be a name. You describe your locality, your nisba to your roots that from a specific country. So Rafi'i, Saudi, Tantawi. طيب inshallah. طيب, right. That's so make sure you inshallah keep that in mind. It's not something too essential, but just keep that in mind inshallah. Because you notice you will notice this with the names of the ulama, right? You're going to come across these names a lot. So you know what the al at the end is. Al-Hamad, Al-Fawzan, right? Al-Badr, Al-Utaybi, مثلا. These kind of names are common. They're describing the name of the family. Okay? Ismul A'ila. That's a phrase for you, inshallah. We'll come to it when we do the phrase mining. Ismul A'ila, name of the family. طيب, for writing date in the Arabic, it's similar to the writing a date in the English. You may mention the day first, then the month, and then the year. نبدأ, we begin, باليوم, with the day, ثم الشهر, then the month, ثم السنة, then the year. Okay, the same way that you do it in normal calendar. يستخدم التقويم الميلادي. تقويم is a new word. تقويم means calendar. يستخدم التقويم الميلادي. Miladi refers to the Gregorian calendar. Miladi refers to the calendar that we use after the birth of Christ عليه السلام, Jesus عليه السلام. طيب, Isa. So التقويم الميلادي, calendar, تقويم ميلادي, Gregorian calendar, التقويم الميلادي. And the opposite of التقويم الميلادي is التقويم الهجري, right? تقويم الهجري, the Hijri calendar. تقويم الميلادي and تقويم الهجري. Most of the Arab countries now, they use the Gregorian calendar for the sake of ease, because they want to blend in with the rest of the world, and it's just easier for their bureaucracy. But some of the countries still use the Hijri calendar, like Saudi and I believe like Bahrain. I think some of these countries, they still use the Hijri calendar. Right, Mauritania, they use Hijri calendar, and some other countries. So even inshallah, but very few. Sahih inshallah. So let's jump into your listening activity, then we'll take a quick break and we'll come back for the phrase mining. Right, eyes closed, everyone. Everyone, eyes closed. Now inshallah, we're jumping into the listening activity. طيب. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to read this out loud, and you're going to listen, and then at the end of it, I'm going to ask you to give me a percentage number to how much of it you think you understood. Okay? Bismillah, here it goes. الاسم الأول هاشم محمد فؤاد. تاريخ الميلاد X, Y, and Z. العنوان, the street address. رقم الهاتف, the number. The follows. البريد الإلكتروني. التوقيع. التاريخ. الأوراق المرفقة. صورة شخصية. صورة عن الهوية أو جواز السفر. إثبات عنوان السكن. ستصدر البطاقة بعد 10 أيام من تاريخ الطلب. طيب, you can open your eyes. How was that for you guys, inshallah, on the first attempt? After you've just covered the passage. Okay, Allah Mubarak, mashallah. What about the others? Naam, what about the others? Inshallah, can you give me a number? Even if it's like 5%, I don't care. Just give me a number, inshallah. You see, wallahi, if you think 40% is bad, when I first started, I used to attend these classes completely in Arabic, and I had no idea. The only way I could possibly understand anything was the was that some of the words I had learned, like the first 100 words I learned, and then just some cognates that I already recognized from Urdu, right, in Arabic. So I would attend these lectures, and then after the lecture, often the sheikh who was giving this lecture, very nice, mashallah, Levi brother, he would ask me, how much did you understand, Harith? And I'd say, maybe 5%, 10%, And so the sheikh would say, no problem, today, mashallah, it is 10%, then, inshallah, it will be 15%. And in this way, he would say 15%. And then slowly but surely, if you keep going, inshallah, the more words they add up and the exposure keeps going, so inshallah, over time, it's going to be 15, 20, and subhanAllah. And subhanAllah, after a year, I would sit in the same class and I would ask questions in Arabic and I would debate the teacher in Arabic, right? In fact, I debated one of the visiting scholars from Mecca in Arabic on an issue that I felt that was wrong, because he was trying to justify having contacts and relations with the people of Bid'ah in a way that was I did not identify with, because of the aqidah that we had studied with the Salafi ulama. طيب. But anyway, right? So mashallah, if you guys are saying 40% and some say 90%, mashallah, this is a great start, right? Great start, mashallah. It's not something to be shy of, inshallah. And definitely a big pat on the back, a virtual pat on the back. Okay? Right. Exercises for you guys to do in your own time. طيب. Right. Quickly, one last time, and then we'll break off for a break. الاسم الأول, the first name. You can look at the screen, inshallah. الاسم الأول, the first name, Hashim Muhammad Fuad. تاريخ الميلاد, 15/12/1987. العنوان, 13, شارع طريق سلوى. I'm not doing the numbers in Arabic because we haven't done that, so it'll confuse you. I'll just stick to where English is easy for you to just pick up things. So العنوان 13, شارع طريق سلوى, عين خالد, الدوحة. رقم الهاتف 77545426. البريد الإلكتروني هاشم mf@example.com. التوقيع هاشم. التاريخ 23/2021. الأوراق المرفقة صورة شخصية, صورة عن الهوية أو جواز السفر. إثبات عنوان السكن. ستصدر البطاقة بعد 10 أيام من تاريخ الطلب. Okay, inshallah. First name, date of birth, address. Stop. رقم الهاتف, number. البريد الإلكتروني, email. توقيع, signature. تاريخ, date. تمام? Right, inshallah. Let's break for a little break, inshallah. And we'll come back and do our phrase mining. طيب, inshallah. See you guys in a few minutes.